got that audio recording locked in, player.
Welcome to Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy. I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
First things first this week, on this date in history, 1959, Green Bay Packers named Vince Lombardi as the head coach. We won 5 titles in 9 years, including Super Bowl I and II.
We were number one. We were number one.
I had not known that. It was dug up by a coworker of mine, so shout out to you, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, wherever you are.
Did you see, this is not Packers news, did you see Alex Smith is likely to miss the 2019 season if he comes back at all?
I did see that. I saw the injury on TV, and it looked gruesome. The way they described it is the treatment he received that same day was life-saving treatment, not just immediate to make sure he gets back quality of life and all that, but it was a life-threatening injury he received. I'm not surprised to hear that he'd be out. I was guessing that. I was saying that to people here at work. I don't think he comes back in 2019. Again, I'm in Washington, D.C., so that's the hometown quarterback here. It's just one of those things that is unfortunate. Alex Smith is a good player. I've liked him for his whole career. Tough to see a good quarterback go down that way.
Tough to see anybody go down that way.
Yeah.
Back to Packers news. I do want to segue into the Gossip Girl section. Are you going to make me do the voice?
Of course, I was waiting with anticipation. That was the pause there.
Gossip Girl, haha!
There it is.
I fucking hate it. This is going to get old. Gossip Girl section, I don't remember if I saw a mention of it or if I made the connection myself, but I think that a pretty seamless improvement / replacement for Randall Cobb would be a free agent who is available this year, Cole Beasley.
Love it.
The Dallas Cowboys. I say he's available, but I don't know 100% how available he is. I know he said some shit about the Cowboys front office in the media about, like, you're only going to get the ball if Jerry wants you to get the ball, which I do believe is probably the case because Jerry Jones is...
That is the house that Jerry built. If you don't like his house...
That's the house that Jerry didn't finish building because it's got a fucking hole in the ceiling.
Yeah. Look, I brought you into this world and I'll take you out, says Jerry Jones. If you don't want to do it my way, the Jerry way, then get on the road. That's just how it goes.
Immediately, Jason Garrett in the background just... All right. Yeah.
Whatever Jerry said.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. It's all Jason Garrett knows how to do is clap and say good job.
I believe that Jerry Jones is up in the box just sending faxes. Just sending faxes down to the line of what he wants to see. He can't use texting or email or...
He's on his beeper.
Garrett's beeper blows up to alert him that a fax is coming through.
Because Jerry Jones doesn't know how to operate technology, and he's so old and senile he's not going to try.
That's exactly it. That dude, I don't even know what the deal is there, but every time I see Jerry Jones, it's just like, that guy needs to relax a little bit.
You're like 87 years old. Calm the fuck down, Jerry Jones.
How old is Jerry Jones? I need to know now. I'm going to tell you right now. He is 76 years old.
This is not the first episode where we've talked about old-ass people.
But Jerry Jones is old. I mean, 76 is pretty old.
He looks way worse than 76, though.
You think so? He looks about 76, I think.
I think he looks like about 86. Or he looks like a senile 76. There's like healthy 76, and there's senile 76, and Jerry Jones is every day of senile 76.
His first name is Jerrah. Jerrah?
Where are you finding this?
I'm not even sure. This is just, I typed in Jerry Jones' age on Google, and there's a box on the side.
Is it a picture of Jerry Jones?
Oh my God, his net worth, $6.8 billion with a B.
That sounds about right, yeah.
That is 68,000 millions. That means if he went into a city with a population of 68,000 people...
he could give every one of them $1 million.
That is correct.
Is it $6.8 billion of cash on hand, or is it...
No, that's net worth. Yeah, that's
okay,
net worth.
Well, he's probably got like $40 in the bank account, and the rest of it is just invested in Jerry World.
But if we were to have a garage sale... liquidate.
It's just the Cowboy Stadium on one of those Tupperware fucking fold-up tables. It's got one of those little red price tags on it, and it says $6.2 billion.
That's right.
Old lady walks by it, kind of picks it up and looks at it a little bit, and I'll give you
a quarter.
Give you 75 cents for it.
3 quarters.
$1.50 final offer.
I don't know how that works, but I mean, I know how garage sales work, but I'm not sure how that net worth is going to be distributed. Anyway, wish you many happy years, Jerry Jones, though I think the fax machine system is deeply flawed. Those are all lies. He doesn't actually fax to the field, as far as I know.
Keep that one beeper left in the world running, Jerry. You keep it running. I'm sorry. There have to be at least two. You get that one beeper on your hip, one on Jason Garrett's hip. Don't you have to have two beepers to talk to each other?
No, they're not walkie-talkies. You just dial the beeper number, and then you press a number that registers some action.
How the fuck am I going to know how a beeper works? I'm 28 years old. I've only ever seen a beeper. I've never operated a beeper. How the fuck am I going to know how a beeper works?
Well, a beeper basically has no buttons on it. It's not
It's a useless invention. It's dumb.
You call a beeper number, and then you can, like, press something that says emergency or something.
You don't beeper somebody else's beeper?
I don't think you beep someone else's beeper. I mean, I'm not that much older than you.
What a waste of technology.
I didn't have a beeper.
No one had a beeper.
Anyway, Cole Beasley, I love it. We should pick him up. That's just what I was saying before. We need to look into those free agency pools and get a guy who can make a difference on our team. I don't think that every good option we need to pick up every single one of them, but I think we have to get serious about picking up quality talent in free agency, teams that we're not just drafting and hoping that we get something out of it. I'd like to see us draft some guys with skills. Before this huge sidelight about Jerry Jones, I think that's what we need to see, and a guy like Cole Beasley makes sense to me. Very good hands and elusive.
He tears us up every time we play against him.
I don't like that part of it, but he is a good player.
If Bill Belichick got him because he's a small white guy, all pro.
Has Cole Beasley ever been all pro?
I don't think so. But I think he's essentially a direct replacement for Randall Cobb. Small, can run across the middle, probably cheaper price tag too, honestly. I can't imagine he'd be that expensive. Either way, all I've heard has been that he's put out some controversial tweets, messages, and these things. He's ready to be out of Jerry World. That's fine. You can leave that half-ass stadium. Get your ass over to Titletown. We'll take real good care of you. What does the stat line look like?
Receiving, he had 672 yards. Here's the big one, 74.7% catch percentage.
You know what both those numbers are?
What?
Better than Jimmy Graham.
What's Randall Cobb's catch percentage here?
You can't catch the ball if you're not on the field.
You don't have to say it like that. He can hear. He can hear you. 62%.
74 is significantly larger than 62.
There's only 2 years that Randall Cobb had done that well, 2012 and 2011.
I'd like to give a shout out to ProFootballReference.com. You guys are the shit. All these stats that I would never need for any reason other than this specific application.
It's also fun for in-car trivia. We played that when we went to the Panthers-Packers game.
We played that game of, all right, which Packers receivers have the most all-time receiving yards? And we actually did really well.
Yeah, we did well.
Really well. Yeah, that was good.
That was fun. All right, let's transition into a second Gossip Girl. We're hitting the duality today. This is my Gossip Girl section. Can we get that sound bite?
Or do we do duality by Slipknot? You said duality, so we get Slipknot. I push my fingers into my... Anyways, Jeezy found this article, and as he said about me last week, he's very proud. So I'll let him go ahead and tell all you guys about this one. He's very excited.
I was getting all riled up sitting at home. As you know, I was already plenty riled about the outcome of the Saints-Rams game.
I was buck riled.
I was livid over that. And we talked about all the different things, the lawsuit, all of that. And then I found out that 4 of the officials of that game, Southern California residents. What is this scandal? That's naughty. I'm going to use a term that Van hates, but I think these guys might get in trouble.
Oh, fucking what does that mean? They're not going to get in trouble. No one. What is trouble? We're adults. I'm going to get in trouble. What does that even mean? You got to go stand in the corner for 45 minutes? You're in trouble.
I think Roger Goodell might make these guys stand in the corner for 45 minutes and think about what they've done.
Can we talk about this? That standing in the corner didn't do shit for any of us as kids. I didn't learn my lesson. All I learned was that the speckling on the wall hurt my nose and that the ground is hard on my feet. That's all I learned in standing in the corner.
Sounds like you learned your lesson.
No, I didn't. But anyways, they're going to get in trouble.
Probably going to get in trouble. Probably Roger Goodell is going to say something like, stand in the corner, you've got 45 minutes, and then he's not going to supervise, so they're literally just going to go play Mario Kart instead.
No, my mom didn't let me get away with that shit. And I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening, and I know you're not because no one cares about this podcast. Mom, standing in the corner didn't do shit for us.
Your mom never made me stand in the corner.
No, I know, because my mom liked you.
Hi, Mrs. Van.
That's right.
Anywho, shall we proceed?
You didn't really say anything about it. You said get in trouble, but I thought you were so excited about this when you had so much to say.
No, that's what I had to say. I mean, what is there to say?
What a fucking letdown. I thought you had so much more to say about this, and you got nothing for me.
That's what I had.
What a tease.
What do you want me to say? That they're gonna... What? There's nothing more to know. If we can stay on the gossip for 1 second, you know what else I heard? The dude that laid the hit on Tommy Lee... What's that guy's name? The Tommy Lee receiver...
Tommy Lee Jones.
The guy who laid the hit.
He got fined.
He got a fine, but he didn't get a flag. The guy who does both pass interference and that head-to-head collision that was like a truck plowing the other guy gets a fine,
right?
But no flag.
No flag. I feel like the NFL had their pants down on that one. They were like, there's just nothing we can do to make anybody happy because either you fine him and like, no, fuck you. You messed up. You're being dangerous. Give me some money to give back to the kids in Africa or whatever it is we do with that money. Or you don't fine him. And it's just pretty much you with your fingers in your ears going like, la, 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 nothing happened. There was no good way for the NFL to handle that.
There was a good way. The good way was for 1 minute after the play, there was a pause. It was a natural thing. They kicked it. Let's say right after the Saints make that field goal, they get a call. Unprecedented from New York.
No.
Yeah.
I said last week it had to be 36 seconds after that play was done.
No. The absolute last moment that they could have changed it, because you said they could have called him off the bus. No, that's ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous. Get your ass back in the locker room. Put your pads on. Take those Bose headphones off. We're not sponsored by Bose, but I'm going to say it anyways. Get that Beats by Dre. We're not sponsored by Beats by Dre. Get that shit off your head. Put your pads back on. Get out in the field. No, fans, get out your fucking cars. Come back. We're playing this again. Everybody sit down and shut up. Watch the game.
No, okay. Here is where we had until. We had many minutes by the time you add in the replays, all that stuff, probably TV timeout that happened. We had until the first actual play by the Rams on offense. That means through the field goal kick, the kickoff and return, the little bit of break that happens after the kickoff return, we had up until then, we had probably 5 minutes. If we get a call from New York, hey everybody, we were here watching the game and we can't let it go on. We're going to reset the ball on a first down. We've reset the clock. First and goal from the 5. Give it back to Drew Brees and his crew. And we're going to replay it. We're removing the 3 points from the scoreboard. We play from there. That's the time.
I've let you go so long on this, and I should have stopped you right when you said it because it wasn't going to happen. It never was going to happen because Commissioner Wet Noodle isn't going to do it.
It should have happened.
That would have been the right way to solve it, but it didn't happen.
I'm not saying that that's what I wanted, but you said there was no way to make everyone happy. That was
after the fact. There's no way to make anyone happy today. Finding the guy versus not finding the guy, it doesn't matter. The Saints still aren't going to the Super Bowl. That dude still got knocked the fuck out, hit like a motherfucker.
He did.
That's all it is.
It looked like it hurt a lot.
He got trucked. The Saints got fucked. That's it.
That was a rhyme there.
I know. I did it on purpose.
If this podcast thing doesn't work out, which probably won't.
I've got a future in Mother Goose.
That's right.
There's 3 stories.
Well, I say let's move on because we're like burning daylight here.
The Pro Bowl, I caught exactly 1 play of the Pro Bowl. And do you know what I saw?
What'd you see?
It was the 4th quarter, 20-0, AFC over the NFC.
They're crushing us.
I saw Alvin Kamara.
Who is a beast.
That's right. And Saquon Barkley.
Also a beast.
Playing on defense. And that's when I said, fuck this. Not happening. No way, no how. Bye.
Van, you're too uptight. That game was pretty fun. I only caught the 4th quarter because I thought the game started later than it did. So I turned it on thinking I was going to catch it from pretty early on.
Which shows exactly how much anybody cares about the Pro Bowl. It's not a primetime game. It happens at, fucking whenever in the afternoon. It was on Disney Channel.
I think it was on ABC Family where I am.
I saw it on the Disney Channel. Granted, I know Disney owns ESPN. They own everything. But that's how little anybody cares about the Pro Bowls. They're like, I mean, I guess we got to televise this somewhere. I guess just put it on Disney. I don't give a... And it was like Disney XD or some one of those Disney channels in like the 700s where like there's no kids scrolling that high to watch that shit anyways.
Look, I thought it was fun. I saw Rashad Evans playing defense, who's, he's a wide receiver, catch an interception, and then they tried to do some razzle-dazzle laterals all over the place. It's fun. It's just backyard football. Look, these are the biggest personalities.
They're not, because the biggest personalities are playing this weekend, which is why
Come on, man.
It was a stupid idea for them to have moved the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl. It was dumb. What they really should do is 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, play the Pro Bowl, because then everybody probably be like, yeah, okay, I'll play, sure.
I don't know if it changed anything, but look, it's fun. It's backyard football. I want to tell you a tradition in the Jeezy family. On Thanksgiving Thursday, we get up early, we play the Turkey Bowl, and you know what? We record that game, and when we eat food, we watch that game. And you know what it is? It's a bunch of people slopping around in the mud, and people are like, oh, watch this play, because we remember the previous play when we got trucked, and then we get to truck them back, and we see it, and we get to laugh. And that's all it is, You're seeing a bunch of dudes, big personalities out there doing stuff. The commentators basically have nothing to talk about, so they're just...
Except that Jason Witten broke the fucking trophy.
That was so funny. I saw that live. When he grabbed it there, I was like, oh, I don't think he should grab it there. He picked it up there. And it came into pieces, and he's like, oh.
Again, I didn't watch, but I heard that he had pretty much stumbled throughout the entire game. I heard his commentary was pretty bad. But then he goes to pick up the trophy, which apparently is hot glued together, and it goes, thunk, and it just breaks in half.
To me, when I picked it up, it looks like there's two little latches inside that kind of just unclip when it's too heavy.
That's the deceiving part. That just holds more hot glue.
Oh, that's just a tunnel for glue?
That's right. It's a tunnel for hot glue.
They picked up the trophy after winning. Patrick Mahomes and that other guy, I can't remember his name.
They added more scotch tape to it and sent it off.
That was pretty dissatisfying. I was like, what does it cost to get a screw in this country? Why couldn't that be screwed together?
The quality of that trophy is on par with, I don't know if you saw it, when Drew Brees broke the all-time passing record, and they gave him a little, like, fucking diploma that looked like it was made in Microsoft Word. Did you see this?
You mean Microsoft Works?
It was like someone went, Google Saints logo. Okay? And this is the person that goes to Yahoo and types in google.com to search. It's this person. Finds the Saints logo. Okay, right click. Copy, and can't really figure out how the mouse works, drags it over, and it fucking prints it out on this little piece of paper. And like, Drew Brees is in the middle of playing a game. What the fuck is he supposed to do with this little shitty ass piece of paper?
That's really ridiculous. Funny. Let me see. Brees passing record certificate.
That's exactly what he got, a certificate.
Let's see if I can find it based on that.
A certificate of appreciation. It was.
Oh my god!
Did you see this?
It's laminated. What is the point of that?
I don't know. Like, is he supposed to bring it home and put it on his fridge? Look, Mom, I got it for school today.
That is the most arts and craftsy thing I've ever seen. I'm telling you right now that because Drew Brees is a great guy, he didn't ball it up and throw it in the trash. He balled it up and threw it in the recycling. Only because he's a great guy, he put it in the recycling. I mean, he might have even used the back of it to keep score for like a cards game or something before, because it's reduce, reuse, recycle. So he's reducing his paper use, he's reusing this thing, and then he recycled it. He's all-pro, all-star.
You know what's even better about that whole situation? Like, here you go, Drew Brees. Here's this shitty piece of laminated paper. By the way, penalty, excessive celebration. He got an excessive celebration penalty for that. Come on, NFL. You have to understand history is being written here. And the NFL's like, no, too much fun. Fucking 15 yards. 15 yards.
Well, they ended up crushing the other team, I remember the game. I can't remember who they were playing, but they won by a lot.
Circling back, that trophy was the Drew Brees certificate of trophies.
Agreed.
Super Bowl this weekend. What are your predictions? I saw there were some 10-year-old kids scientifically proved why Tom Brady's a cheater. This kid won the science fair with this project. I can say that in my professional engineering opinion, this kid is correct. Scientifically correct.
I mean, he used the scientific method. He put out a hypothesis. There are observable conditions.
Cheating was observed, yes.
That was documented cheating. So, predictions.
Super Bowl 53 predictions. We're on 53 now, right?
I can't count past 31.
No, there's no reason to count past 45.
All right, fine. 45 does count. We'll give Aaron Rodgers his due.
You know what's funny? And this just made me remember it when you said Super Bowl 31. I work with a guy who specifically refers to Aaron Rodgers as Baby-Favre. And,
What?
and every time he does, part of me is like, you know what? Yeah. And part of me is like, man, fuck off. I'm so torn.
They were pretty different, especially like in the primes of their career. Now, I'm not trying to say Aaron is necessarily out of his prime, but this year wasn't great. Let me just say that Brett Favre was a gunslinger through and through. He broke those receivers' fingers like it was his occupation.
Because it was. I went back and I watched some Brett Favre highlights. Just watching him throw the ball defines the word gunslinger. He just fucking, just every time, just.
That dude played to win. He did not accept losing, and he did not tread lightly, ever.
That's why he owns an NFL record that will never be broken. Most interceptions.
You take the good with the bad on that. You know, and Aaron Rodgers, I thought, is a much more cerebral player. He's a much more... He's not out there trying to be as much of a gunslinger. I thought he was much more of a trained... Like, he knows the play, he's throwing people open, he's keeping them out of danger. Like, I remember when Brett Favre was there, receivers would take the nastiest blind hits because he would choose the only open lane on the field that guaranteed. I mean, I was like, oh my God, you can't do that. We're going to lose all our players before the end of the season. I just don't know how it couldn't be so. But Aaron Rodgers, I remember when he first came, I was like, oh my God, we're going to keep receivers for a while. They're not just going to die. Look, we don't have to send the police officer out to our receivers' houses for a wellness check when Aaron Rodgers comes in. We can have a receiver and keep them in the league for a few years. We don't have to cycle through people because they're not getting destroyed. So anyway, actual predictions on the Super Bowl, coming back to that. I really want the Rams to win, but they've got to play better than they did against the Saints. I think this game actually comes down to defense, as the Super Bowl almost always does. I think the Patriots are going to try and take away Donald, and they're going to make somebody else do it on defense. And they've got other tools. They got Ndamukong Suh. They've got other players. Somebody's got to step up on that defense. Maybe Donald will overcome some of these strategies that Bill Belichick will use. They've got to get to Tom Brady. They've got to frustrate him.
This is the first time this has ever happened. Tom Brady has yet to be sacked in this playoff season.
It's probably because of his incredible mobility.
That dude, I remember watching the Packers game. If you're within 25 feet of Tom Brady and you're doing anything more than briskly walking towards him, he just crumples up and just accepts the sack. He is the least mobile quarterback I've ever seen.
I think the Rams will win, but it will completely depend on that defense. If they can frustrate Tom Brady, keep Sony Michel from getting too much productivity, I think they can win. They're going to look to Gronk late in the game. That's been their recipe to win. He's been there. He's been clutch. There's a lot of situations where Gronk makes a huge mismatch because who do you put on him? Who covers him?
Who covers a 6'6", 285-pound fucking freak in nature? Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough. You find them in mismatches, and they will take advantage of it, especially when they need it. And one thing I've noticed in this playoffs watching them is they haven't been feeding Gronk the ball. They've left him there for clutch plays, clutch downs. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just the way it's played out, but he's been a big factor, but just on individual big plays, not through the whole game.
To mirror what you're saying, I think what the Rams need to do is shut down James White in the first half and shut down Gronkowski in the fourth quarter. James White will also tear you up, either receiving, rushing, doesn't matter. James White, go Badgers.
I'm just saying they've got to frustrate that running game. I mean, Sony Michel and James White, that's a scary duo to face. It's a rugged pair that can really get it done. So they've got to stifle that running game, and they've got to have their D show up. If they get into a game where we're at the fourth quarter, it comes down to a last possession, I just think that Bill Belichick, as good of a coach as Sean McVay is, Bill Belichick has been there. He knows what it takes to out-scheme you, get the ball last, whatever it takes for that kind of game. Sean McVay's team needs to show up and stifle them. They need to not let them take the lid off that jar.
The Rams need to do what the Chiefs almost did. The Chiefs almost had it, but at the end of the game, they let Tom Brady get the ball back. The Rams need to finish what the Chiefs started.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta know, after all of these years, that Bill Belichick has a top secret drive G10 classified. Again, you're not qualified for that, Van. G9 is, it's not enough permission level, but G10 classified.
Hey, I put my G10 application in earlier today, all right? So just give it some time. They probably lost it in the mail or something. Don't worry, it's coming.
I think it's 6 to 8 weeks processing anyway. So anyway, G10 classified booklet of plays that's like, here's my top secret rhyme book that's guaranteed to get us a touchdown. It's out there. He's got a top secret little book of stuff that they do, and it's like a guaranteed 3 to 7 points depending on the situation.
It's a little book. He opens it up, and it's a small little video monitor of the other team's practice. And then on the other side of the page,
it's just deflated footballs.
deflated footballs. My final prediction is that the Rams are going to edge the Patriots out by 7, 27-20.
That would be a good game. I'd like to see if the Rams can really put it on them that way. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see them show up and be that defensive team. And they've got that front rush that's excellent. They've got that front rush that can really bottle up and put pressure on that run game and Tom Brady.
Yep, I'm good with that. Last thing we have here, very, very briefly, we've hired some position-specific coaches. Not really a ton to speak of here. It's just some guys that are probably going to do a good job. That's all.
Do you want to name them?
Oh, boy. I guess I could. Inside linebacker coach Kirk Olivedati.
That's a cool name. Kirk, we need to get a drink sometime.
One of 11 Washington assistant coaches with more than 10 years in their system. Jason Outen, tight end coach. Adam Stenovich, offensive line coach from Marshfield, Wisconsin. Interesting fact.
Go Wisconsin. Viva Wisconsin.
And Mike Smith, outside linebacker coach. He actually coached on the Kansas City Chiefs for the past 3 years, coaching Dee Ford from the Kansas City Chiefs, who I will.
That's not.
It's not a good thing to mention.
I mean, Dee Ford is excellent. Actually, he's a great player, but it's just like right now he's got a little bit of, and he actually Dee Ford gave a really nice little speech during the Pro Bowl saying, he's going to bounce back, be better than ever. He can't be focused on that one call offsides that essentially cost the Chiefs the game. He's a good player. He's going to be back even better. He's going to keep playing top tier football.
Andy Reid gave him a nice little pat in the back after the game too. I was reading something along the lines of, you can't think about being 4 inches offside. We all needed to be about 4 inches better, which, if I can say, life motto of mine in my personal experience, if I could be 4 inches better as well, that would really help me.
Yeah, couldn't we all use that?
I think that's all we had to talk about this week. That wraps up this episode, I believe.
Well, thank you all so much for listening to Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy.
I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
Be sure to check us out on social media. And our website is live, cheezypodcast.com. That's CHEEZY podcast.com. And you can search us. Yeah. You can search us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, which isn't really social media, but you can search Cheesy Podcast, all one word, and you'll find us.
Which is tight. Coming soon to iTunes podcasts. Keep your eyes and ears peeled. We'll be launching that soon.
With that, everybody enjoy your Super Bowl weekend. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.